Good morning, welcome to part 2 of Inside the Tour. We're at the Ascendant Championship for Korn Ferry Tour this week at TPC Colorado. I have an afternoon tee time today, so I'm going to walk you guys through what it looks like from start to finish on a tournament day. It's 10:30 and I just woke up. Yeah, I know, I sleep a lot, so I haven't been feeling great. I haven't been sleeping great, so it was good that I got a lot of sleep last night. Gonna make some breakfast, usually have 4 eggs, turkey bacon, and some avocado. So after that, I already put in pins, already marked balls last night. I'll probably just watch some Netflix and just chill, sit in my normal text, and then get ready to go to the course. We'll walk you through, warm up, and then hopefully I'll go to good round 1 today. So this is what it looks like day in the life of a pro golfer on the Korn Ferry Tour. We always start with an athlete when I wake up. Again, helps recovery, boosts cognitive function. Then we gotta get that creatine. Just finished up some breakfast. Made myself some berries, some blueberries and strawberries. Got my athlete as well. And then now I'm just gonna hop in these Norma Techs for an hour before I gotta leave. Watch some Tour de France documentary on Netflix. But yeah, it's a good way to kind of chill before a round, kill some time. I don't tee off till 1:25, so we got a lot of time just to kill. We'll see you guys in about an hour, and that's when we'll grab our stuff, make sure our bag's packed up, and head out the door and get ready to warm up. So, starting on the back 9 today, it's a north wind. We've been practicing the east-southeast wind, so this is a completely different wind for us. A lot of the holes will be playing a little bit differently. Our club selections will change just a bit, but the process doesn't change. We're going to try to pick our target, pick the club, and then commit to it as much as we can. I do challenge you guys to, if you're struggling with the mental side of the game, make a list of what are the things you can control, and then what are the things you can't control. So for me, things I can control are my process, my club selection, my commitment level to the shot, the way I go about finding numbers and deciding on, and this is under the process realm, but on how far I want to hit it. And then things I can't control are bounces, wind direction, wind gusts, outcome. Can't control that. You're playing an imperfect game with an imperfect ball on imperfect surfaces and imperfect weather. So there's a lot of variables that go into hitting a golf shot, and once that ball leaves the face, you've done everything that you can control. You've executed the best of your ability, and then you got to be able to release and let go and let the outcome just be whatever it is, whether good or bad. And a big thing that I'm working on is pre-accepting any outcome. Whether it's exactly what I was hoping for or something else. If I hit a shot, like yesterday in the practice round, I actually hit a shot. It was exactly how I was trying to hit it. Like, it would have been a 10 out of 10. The quad said it carried exactly how far I wanted to, and it landed 2 feet short of the pin and just took off to the back of the green and went about 30 feet from the pin. So in my head, I'm like, wow, that was perfect. But then I got upset because the result wasn't what I wanted. And then I thought to myself, well, I did everything that I could, and that's all you can do in golf. Sometimes you're going to hit, a firmer patch of the green. Sometimes you're going to hit a softer patch of the green and it'll spin off the front. So it is what it is, and it's very hard to remember that when you're out there playing because you just want everything to go your way and go the way you want it to. And that's unfortunately not the game that we're playing. So gonna just try to remind myself that as much as I can today, and stick to the process and then just see what happens. So headed to the course, we'll be there in a couple minutes. Got to get warm up in and then get ready to go. We got some gnarly weather today. North wind gusting up to 40, Brian just said. We'll just see what happens when it's our time to tee off. Hopefully that's not blowing this direction because that looks pretty gnarly. I forgot my contacts in the house, so he's got to go back and get them. I washed the towel, it's a little damp, but I'm sure this wind will dry it out in a second.
Yeah.
Is that coming this way?
I think we might get some rain, which isn't a bad idea.
Yeah. All right, Gary, you got to go back and get my contacts, so appreciate it.
That's really good. south wind. Driver can get
What
way.
was it in the practice round? Was it like mostly off the right?
It was still south.
Not really much wind.
It wasn't much wind in the practice round. I like that because if you hit it down like the center or the left center, we have
also a good wind.
It's a good wind. Yes, I totally agreed. So our target's like those 3 mounds. It's like the left side of the middle mound, if you remember that. I mean, that's going to be like 115, 120 front. It's going to go 370.
53 is a half, 3/4, 46.
41.
Okay. 3 o'clock.
And what time are we at?
3:55. We
Okay.
still got lots of
So
time.
we'll get in the shuttle at 3:40.
Yeah, 340, 345, something like
Okay.
that.
Round 1 of the Ascendant Championship here in the Korn Ferry Tour. Started on hole number 10 this week. 10's a pretty good par 4. You got the lake to the right, some bunkers to the left you want to avoid.
Yeah. South-south. The range was south-southeast. Pretty much straight in. I don't think it's enough for it to be driver. I like this.
That middle bunker.
Okay.
Welcome to the 2025 Ascendant presented by Blue. This is the 3:55 starting time. First on the tee from Scarsdale, New York, James Nicholas.
Decided to go with mini drivers since it was pumping pretty hard into out of the left. And was trying to hit a little fade off that bunker. Started a little bit right, kept on going, and that wind caught at the end. It actually landed on the fescue wall at the top and then bounced right. So that walk was a little bit stressful to the ball. And as I got up there, I looked to my right, and it was on the beach of the lake, up against a little root. Hit actually an awesome shot from the beach. Little sand wedge from 106 yards to the front of the green. And as I'm walking up there, getting ready to putt, huge storm rolls in, a little foreshadowing for this entire tournament. Yeah, so sliced my tee shot onto the beach. Somehow got it close to the green, and that was about it. Now we're going back inside. Hopefully this is the last of the delays, but we're definitely not finishing now. So went back inside. As I was texting my family, they're like, "Oh, how'd you start?" And I was like, "Well, shot 1 on the beach, shot 2 close to the green, and got to look for birdie." So after about an hour and a half, we came back out, rolled that putt up there, about 3 feet short, and tapped in for my par. Would have taken it after that tee shot. So solid way to start the tournament. Par on number 10. Get to number 11. Now the wind starts to really pick up, which makes this hole really tough. It was blowing straight into the wind and hit a really good drive, little stinger driver down the middle. 191 yards left to the pin, and was between a 6 and 7 iron. Decided to go with the 7 iron and flight it down a little bit to go through the wind.
Good shot.
Hit an awesome shot to 13 feet below the hole. Little left to right. Not my best effort on this putt. I pushed it just a little bit. This claw takes out the pull, but that does bring in the pushes. So pushed it right of the hole, tapped in for my par, onwards to number 12. Now the wind started pumping. So instead of hitting mini driver, which is what I planned to hit on this hole, we had to hit driver. Hit a great drive just down the right side, bounced into the rough, which left me a pretty tricky shot on this second shot. Hard to judge if it was going to jump or not. Decided that it was going to jump. Hit a pitching wedge from 132 yards, and it just got eaten up by the wind. Ended up going into the bunker, which left me a pretty standard bunker shot, but it was blowing about 35 miles an hour at this point. Hit an awesome bunker shot to 3 feet, and that's the only way to really make it. But then it goes off the green.
It's going to go in.
Okay, let's just get a good read on
Yeah,
it.
get a good read.
It should be inside left and firm.
Yes.
I have to hit it firm. Was standing over this 3-footer for about 3 minutes. The ball was shaking and then kept moving and
Good work.
shaking with the wind.
You just got to wait till it's calm. If it's you got to wait till it's not moving, and then we'll hit it whenever we hit it. It's 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Good start to the tournament. Good up and down there. Keep the momentum going. Now we got hole number 13 pumping straight downwind. The 800-yard par 5 was definitely nice to have this downwind. So I just got up there and tried to hit it as hard as I could. Hit about a 425-yard drive down the right side and ran out of fairway. Ended up going to the rough. 185 covers the 142.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about?
Yep. Which covers all the bunkers. 66. That would be
88 more than that, so
240?
185. Yeah, plus 240.
So 240 would be. Hit an 8 iron over the bunker on the right just to lay up and give myself a little look at a wedge into this green. Hit a great wedge from 127 yards to about 22 feet. Rolled that putt up there. Actually thought I had a chance to go in there for a little bit, but ended up missing to the right. Tapped in for my par. Moved on to 14. This hole, blowing straight into the fan, 244 yards. We were talking about playing it right around that 260 number, which is a pretty good knockdown hybrid for me. Was aiming up the left side of the green, trying to play a little low slice in there. Executed it so perfectly. It just went through the wind a little bit better than I thought. Ended up on the back of the green and had 41 feet for birdie.
I think if he just gets over this ridge, he gets to the hole.
This putt was one that looked so good from the start. Down the hill, downwind, just tracking, and then just barely short. Get up there, not going to be mad about a 3, tap it in, and move on to the par 5 15.
See where the chair is? Left bunker, left edge of the green?
Yeah.
That's where I'm trying to finish it. And one was trying to hit a straight one at the clubhouse. It might have just dripped.
Let's see how much it moves. With the driver, it's not going to. I mean, it's going to move, but it's not going to move a ton until it slows down.
Wind started shifting a little bit more off the left, and I aimed this at the clubhouse up there and just hit a huge high bomb cut to about 245 yards out from the green.
Good one.
Again, this was a tricky one because anything long is a pretty tough up and down. And, the goal here is just get this on the green, give myself a look at eagle.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Land it
thinking.
on that, ascend it where those guys, with the base where the people are right now, in between the two. It's mostly off the left.
Yes.
I'm like thinking of landing this
30,
230
235.
max, right? 30 max.
So it's going to hit here and just chase to the middle. If it ends up
what
in the
I'm
bowl, it's
thinking.
fine.
Yeah.
We don't want to land it past the bowl.
230 is like a 6-iron.
It's going to help it a little bit off the
I
left.
think that's what I'm playing for.
Yeah.
Hit a great 6-iron, drew it against the wind, kept it on that left side, and just took a super soft bounce and didn't roll out at all. So it left me with 78 feet for eagle.
Yeah.
This will be a fun one.
Yeah. You got it kind of around all these white things?
Yeah, it's gotta stay high.
Yeah. Okay. Just your feel. You're great at these.
Something I'm learning with this claw is that it doesn't really come off as hot as having two hands on the putter. So came up about 18 feet short. Again, something to learn from. So a couple putts I'm leaving short here in the last couple holes, and I'm just trying to remind myself, okay, well, with this claw, I got to try to hit the ball a little bit harder. Left that one short as well. Tapped in for my par, moved on to 16. Hole number 16, 147 yards, downhill. Wind starting to die down a little bit.
That flag is showing down right now, which is where the east would be.
It's probably playing 130.
I don't know if there's quite 10 of wind. It feels like it's calm.
Hit a great little knockdown gap wedge to 17 feet below the hole. Looking at the mountains, looking at the lake, this just felt good in my hands. I had this putter, and I just told myself, let's just hit this putt hard.
You're pointing a little more than the cup.
Pointing more than a cup. It's around there.
And barely got it there. So me trying to hit the ball hard, just barely got it there. But ended up with a little birdie there. So that was nice to kind of get things going. 1 under through 7 holes. Going to number 17.
We're finishing on that cart path area out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do this straight one at the stylos, and it should just
Let the wind just move it. Yep.
You good with that?
Yeah. Wind will move it.
Hit a good mini driver down that right side. 194 in. Hit a great 8-iron, and this 8-iron looks so good in the air. The light was just hitting it from the right, over the mountains, through the mountains, and it just lit that ball up. It was from the rough, so it jumped a little bit, landed pretty pin high, rolled to the back edge. Had 37 feet for my birdie, rolled down that hill nicely.
Go.
Just trickled out just to the right of the hole and tapped in for my par. So pretty solid par there on 17. As we're walking to 18, we know this is a pretty tough hole. Over 500-yard long par 4. Pretty tricky. That wind was dying down. I was trying to play just a nice high straight one.
This is a good driver wind then.
Okay.
It's a good.
It doesn't get to the fescue.
Doesn't get to the
Right.
fescue on the left, and we're not hitting it there. We're hitting it finishing just right at that green side bunker, basically.
Love it, yeah.
And, I hit this drive so well and just started bleeding a little bit to the right. And as it was going, I was hoping for any wind to hit it and push it back to the left. Unfortunately, didn't. Caught the bunker, and that left me a pretty tricky bunker shot to get it over the slip. These bunkers out here are really penal, and at that point, just trying to get over the lip.
Are you thinking just of the club that goes 190 and try to land on the front?
8-iron.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just thinking if I could rip it high,
Yeah, if it gets a little bit of help, and it should bounce a little forward.
And I did. Chunked it a little bit, but left me a pretty easy wedge shot from 58 yards. Came out a little bit low and left. Bounced to the back of the green. Would have liked to have a little bit of cut spin on it to soften that shot a little bit, but is what it is. Had 16 feet for par, and again reminded myself to hit this putt hard. And this time it was actually downhill, so when I did hit it hard, it went about 5-6 feet by, which was a pretty dicey putt to have for bogey. Now your mind starts to wander a little bit, like, okay, let's not miss this and make a double. Let's not mess this up as sunlight's come so close here. This could be our last hole of the day. We don't want to end on a bad note.
It's a good aggressive stroke on the first one, just a little too hard.
And went over to 1T. The group in front of us hadn't cleared the landing zone yet. We all really wanted to hit this tee shot because we knew when we came back in the morning it was going to be blowing into, and right now we had good conditions, no wind, and we were just trying to send that ball so we can have a chance to go for that par 5 and 2. Unfortunately, the horn blew just as we were getting ready to hit, and we had to go back come back to finish this round in the morning. Back for round 2. A little delay there. Got home last night, made a quick meal, got to bed. Woke up early, 5:45 warm up, 6:45 restart.
We can cover that bunker, then you can get it down here.
Yeah.
So is this the mini?
Yeah, because then your mini kind of like at the right, like finishing on the right side of the left bunker.
On number 1 tee, we were right. The wind did shift back and into. Wasn't strong enough yet to stop me from getting over that bunker on the right, so hit an absolute beauty, bounced down there the hill, and left myself 280 yards to the pin.
And then there's a little bit of hurt, which maybe makes it 280.
Let me just take a look at this lie. It's going downhill cross.
If you don't love it, it's a layup.
You know, as I was walking up to the ball, the wind did start to pick up, and 280 yards in the morning off a downhill lie. Probably shouldn't have went for it, but Brian and I were talking, and we did think if I hit a little draw that I was able to get it all the way up there.
It feeds down to the right?
It's down and right.
Absolutely perfect spot to chip from. I had a 56 degree. I was trying to land it into the slope and let it just trickle out, and the ball just skipped over the hill and then ran down and ended up 5-10 yards over the green on the right in the fairway. So unfortunate chip there, but tried to reset and get back in it. And again, my mindset with this claw has been hit putts hard, and I definitely hit this one hard. It went right over the back of the cup. Thankfully, it hit the hole. That would have been about 10 feet by. So knocked in that 3-footer for par. Not the best way I wanted to start the day, but you know, par, no harm, no foul, and moving on to number 2. Hole number 2, 230 yards into the wind. Early, tough little hole we got here. Only saving grace was that this hole was in the bowl, which made it a little bit easier. I decided to go with a little draw 5-iron. Came out so well. Very similar to the spot that I was in the practice round, and if you guys remember the practice round, that slope is huge, and I had to go all the way up. And in the practice round, I went left, and noticed that it didn't come all the way down the slope. So this time I decided to go right and played it really nicely. If I hit a little bit harder, would have had a chance to go in. Left myself about 3 feet and knocked down one in for par. So really good 3 there. Really happy about that. Moving on to number 3. We know it's a gettable hole, drivable hole with a mini driver. And today the wind was a little bit into off the right, so I had to hit driver to get it there. And again, don't love drawing my driver. And that's why I really felt comfortable with this hole with a mini driver, because the mini driver is a really good draw club for me. And you know, this shot was just poor execution, poor mental work going into it. Did not accept all outcomes. Did not have a clear vision of what I was trying to do. Caught it a little bit on the toe and it turned over and dove into the water. Had to re-tee. So now I'm hitting my 3rd shot on the tee, and your mind's racing a little bit. Your heart rate's up. Got to do your best to just settle down and. You know, I played a little bit scared of that water. You got to reset. You can't let what happened before affect your shot, and I definitely did. And I blocked this one out to the right, which left me a little bit of a dicey 4th shot. And you know, this 4th shot, tried to land it where I did, right before that slope. Thought I was going to check a little bit and then trickle down that slope, and it took a little bit bigger of a bounce. Rolled all the way to the edge of the green. Now I've got about 12 feet from my bogey. Looking really good over this putt. Tried to hit it hard and came off a little bit softer. Missed it low. Tapped in for double. Kind of, you know, punch in the gut. Easy hole. You're thinking about making a birdie, an easy birdie, and you walk away with a 6. So now we're 2 over, and didn't really feel like. No, not that I didn't feel like it, but I didn't really expect that to happen. But got to reset. Got to move on. Hole number 4.
315 to cover that right bunker. It's probably driver today.
Driver probably doesn't run through this 349.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's into the wind, right?
That's enough, right?
This is just your classic hole before you hit a hook. Next tee shot, hit a block. Hits in the fescue, rolls over the cart path into the hazard. Ended up finding it, but it was just in a really, really tricky spot. This fescue on the 2nd shot turned my face over as I was coming down. Hooked it short left of the green. But, you know, not the end of the world. Got 65 yards, little wedge shot, can get it up there and make a little putt for par. Ended up bouncing a little bit too far. Again, the greens were a little bit slick in the morning, a little moisture level on them, so that first pitch just skipped instead of grabbing like I thought it was. Left myself about 13 feet for par, and feeling really good over this putt. I'm like, okay, you know, let's make this one, get on the roll. And as it's going to the hole, I'm like, just slightly pulled it. Tapped in for my bogey, you know, going double, then bogey, back to back. Not great. But hole number 5, got a par 5 coming up. I know I can get there in 2. I know I have a good chance of making birdie if I had a good tee shot. So, put a little bit more emphasis on trying to hit a little bit harder so I can get close to the green on this tee shot, and just kind of went all out, trying to just manifest that 190 ball speed that I got earlier in the week here at elevation, and hit a really good tee shot down the middle. Left myself about 270 yards to the green. And wind started to pick up at this point. Started to get really tricky. Wind was straight into the fan. Hit hybrid, which I thought would cover that first bunker with no problem. And as it's in the air, just noticed it getting killed by the wind, and it comes up short in that bunker. Not the easiest bunker shot, about 28-yard bunker shot, and hit a great bunker shot to about 10 feet. Left myself a 10-foot slider, foot to 2 cups outside left, and just hit a gem of a putt. That one felt really good to make, and just sort of get that bogey in the last hole back. And I don't try to have that mental mindset of I'm getting shots back, but it does feel a little bit like that when you just drop 3 shots in the last 2 holes. So great bogey there. Moving on to number 6. Again, drivable par 4. Feel like there's another chance to make one here, and hit a perfect tee shot right at the pin. Ends up hitting the bunker wall and bouncing 20 yards back into the fairway. The goal of this tee shot was to hit it in that bunker. So not my best of breaks there, but tried to reset. Hit a great chip, little bumper into the hill, trickles up on the hill, then trickles 6 feet by. Great look at birdie, 6 feet, right edge, stroked it, pull. This claw is just not feeling good now, to be honest. Starting to second guess it, thinking why did I even try this in the first place? But tapped in for my par and got to move on. Hole number 7, stinger of all stingers. This thing almost barely cleared. I mean, I don't even think it was going to get over the fescue in front of me.
Did you get right to the
A
slope?
little lower than I wanted it to hit. I almost hit that fescue.
It did, and rolled out to the fairway. Left me 151 yards in the middle of the fairway and hit sand wedge. This is just kind of shows you how far or how strong the wind was. Awesome sand wedge, 12 feet. Again, great spot. Looking forward to getting another one back here, and missed another 12-footer. Or not another 12-footer, but another putt. Confidence is starting to dwindle with my putter. And get to 8, really tough par 3.
Coming right. I mean, it's quartering.
Hit a great pitching wedge, and the wind just knocks it down. Instead of soaring like I thought it was, it just sent it straight into the ground. Ended up getting short of the green, probably had about 30, 40 feet. Decided to putt it from the fairway. Hit a really good putt, just past it, 4 feet past. And nothing much about this 4-footer, pretty much straight in, and blocked it again. Tapped in for my bogey, looked at Brian and said, that's it for the claw. Get to number 9 tee, thinking about going for it. A lot of decision making on this tee shot, and decided to lay up, but chose to hit a hybrid while I was laying up, which is the worst club possible because that's what brings the bunker into play. And I hit it straight in the bunker. Brian and I did a little bit of talking down this fairway. It just didn't make sense. We were, I think, a little bit flustered over the last couple holes and did not think clearly. Ended up hitting a pretty bad tee shot in the bunker, but got to work on my fairway bunker game. That was sort of the mindset I had walking up to that bunker. Hit a great fairway bunker shot, about 50, 60 feet from the pin on the green, though, so chance to make a little birdie here and finish the round strong. And we went with 2 hands here in the putter, as you see. Went away from the claw,
Good roll.
stroked it beautifully. Speed was awesome. Thought I was going to make a little bomb here to finish, and just missed it. Tapped in for my par, and that's how you shoot 3 over without playing what I felt was bad golf. I felt like it was a good round, and had to go sign my scorecard and reset the mind because we were teeing off for 14 minutes. So when these delays happen, the storms come in, things get messed up, and you just got to roll with the punches. And I need to do my best to reset in those 13 minutes and get ready for round 2 because we need to make a little push here to make the weekend.
You guys with us today?
Hustling.
I'm James.
James, Adam Turk.
Adam, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Jack.
Jack, I'm also 3 over just to make your job easier before you.
Yeah. Thanks for you guys helping out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so got inside, signed my scorecard, went to the putting green, hit a couple putts conventional, no more claw. So knew I need to go low here to try to make the weekend. Wind started to pick up a little bit into the wind off the right. Driver wasn't really gonna get to the bunkers, so I knew I could swing hard and swing freely, and hit an absolute beauty first of the day. Felt good to get off on the right foot. Hit a hybrid for my second shot, tried to lay up as close to the green as possible. And again, perfect hybrid here, a little low draw to about 59, 60 yards to the pin. Took out a 56 degree, Try to keep it low under the wind and stop it from spinning back too much. One hopped in the hill, up top to 4 feet, knocked that in for birdie. So pretty perfect, picture perfect start. Hole number 2, again, one of the hardest holes in this golf course. Tees were up, so it was only 180 yards today, but wind was pumping and it was pretty tricky to get this number right. Decided to hit a little knockdown 7-iron. Came off a little skinny, spun a little bit too much, and just caught the swale. So not the worst case, but had 47 feet for my birdie. Long, hard, breaking putt with the wind off the right. Hit it pretty good up the hill. As it was climbing, broke left, and then once it got to the hole, I thought I had a chance to go in, but wind pushed it really, really hard to the left and left myself a really tricky 4-footer. Backed off it a few times with that wind coming off the left and made that one right in the center. So great little par there on number 2. Headed to number 3, where I had some pretty bad memories from yesterday where I hooked it in the water. And those memories are with you, but you got to do your best to move on and kind of forget about it.
Quartering help off the right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're looking just inside of that bunker and let it move?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Not even jump over at it.
Yeah, perfect.
Decided to hit mini driver today, downwind off the right, and absolutely smoked it. It was turning over, which made me a little bit nervous. I thought for a second there it might have gone in the water, but carried all the way to the back edge of the green, which was 350 yards. So that mini driver went a long, long way. One hopped over the back and left myself a pretty, doable chip, but it was, 3 yards off the front, so had to hit a high flop and executed pretty well. Thought it was going to take one harder bounce and get down there close to the pin, but left myself 9 feet and barely missed this putt. Just misread a little bit and tapped in for my par. Hole number 4 was just not my hole this week. I blocked it out to the right. Ended up in an okay spot just on the left edge of the bunker and hit a 4-iron. I was worried about hitting the lip since it was on such a bad lie, but hit a little knockdown, cut 4-iron just short of the green. And this is a spot where I could have chipped it, could have putted it. I like to roll these when I'm off the green, so I decided to go with the putter. Rolled it up there, about 6 feet left of the hole. Again, sometimes on these long putts when I'm not able to use my line on the ball, I tend to forget about where I'm actually aiming, so something I got to remember going forward. But had a 6-footer for par and rolled that right in the center. Really big momentum putt there. Kept the round clean, kept the round going, and this next tee shot I absolutely striped. Pumped it down the middle, 297 yards left in, and decided to go with driver off the deck.
The best shot I'm going to hit is going to go down left. Driver, I can cut, and that's the better.
And if you okay with being like right to that pin?
Yeah, I actually would be okay with this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Doing like a really steep low cut. You see where those people are on the left?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at starting it there, maybe a little bit at the telephone pole right of it, and then just bleeding this cut in there, and the wind just hits it a little bit. It's not really off the right. Like,
It's mostly straight in, yeah.
So that's why I don't think if I do hit that little stinger cut, it will go to the right edge of the green almost.
I haven't been the best at hitting drive for the deck recently. Definitely 0 for 2 this year. I've hit 2 bad shots, but got to practice that going forward if I want to be able to hit this in tournaments. So got a good break and got a good lie and had 104 yards into this pin.
I don't see this jumping.
I don't see it jumping because it's like going to slow it down.
I mean, it's just got to be a full one of these, huh?
Yeah, there's got to be 18 of wind up there.
Hit a really, really good 56-degree wedge to about 16 feet and another really good putt. Long breaking putt, going left to right, and just stopped short and tapped in for my par. Hole number 6, that drivable hole. It was a perfect mini driver today, and I absolutely laced this one right at the pin. I was thinking 2 the whole time, maybe even 1 in my head. As it bounced a little bit to the right. Looks like it's going to trickle onto the green and be pretty tight, and then it just takes a right-hand turn, then stops, and then slow rolls all the way down the hill behind the bunker. When I got up there, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Still decided to putt this one since I'm a pretty good putter from off the greens, and I had to hammer this one up the hill. Just got to the top of the hill, needed about 1 more foot when it got all the way down to the pin, but left myself 16 feet, and it was about time. I rolled this putt. It was looking good the whole way, and finally dropped right in the center of the hole. Good birdie there, 200 through 6. Moving on to number 7. Hole number 7, been hitting this little stinger cut the whole tournament. Decided to hit another one, and this one was pumped. Left myself 106 yards in the middle of the fairway. Little lob wedge. Pushed it just a little bit. Left myself a downhill one from 13 feet. Again, hit a great putt, just misread it, and tapped in for my par. Hole number 8, definitely one of the most visually intimidating par 3s I've ever played. This green's only 10 yards wide, and it's about 40 yards long. Pin was 31 yards on today, so pretty close to that back edge. 206 yards, decided to hit a 9-iron, just absolutely pumped it. Pin high, left myself 21 feet. And, this one's one I wish I had back. It was looking good the whole way, and the wind just gusted and blew it out of the hole at the last second. Tapped in for my par. Again, got have a really solid round going, 200 through 8, feeling good, hitting the ball where I want to, putting really nicely. Get to number 9, decided to lay up off the tee, left myself 162 yards to the pin. Hit a really good shot in there to 22 feet, and another really good putt that just missed the hole and tapped in for my par. Hole number 10.
I'm on mini at that 326 bunker. You agree?
It's not hybrid.
It's not hybrid.
Didn't have great memories from yesterday hitting that one on the beach, but stepped up there and hit a really good mini driver. Just a high cut down the middle that landed on the right side of the fairway. Left myself 88 yards to the pin. Hit a little wedge that checked up on me. I was trying to play it just over that hill, and it landed on top of the hill and spun back a little bit. 28 feet for birdie, and just left it short and tapped in for my par. Now I'm starting to feel the pressure. Got to start, making some birdies in order to make this weekend. We know the cut's going to go pretty low since the wind started to die. Hole number 11, blocked my tee shot out to the right and trickled into the native area. Ended up finding it. Hit a really good 7-iron from there, about 24 feet from the hole. This putt looked good the entire way. Hit it with some pace too and fell right in the center. Really big momentum boost, and just nice to see one go in over 15 feet. Over make a 24-footer, that really helps the putting spirits. Get to number 12, perfect tee shot down the middle. Have a wedge now from 98 yards and a pretty scary pin. Big false front, big runoff. Got to be able to control your spin. We didn't want to land it into that upslope, so we knew it would spin back pretty hard if we did. So I hit a little knockdown 56 degree that landed at the base of the upslope, then hopped up onto the upslope, rolled down to the front of the green, about 15 feet from the hole. Pretty straightforward uphill, right to left, 15-footer. And this is one you got to make, and I put a great stroke on this and made it, and that was a great birdie to get 2 in a row there and move on to 13 with some good vibes. Hole number 13, now we're sitting at 1 under par for the tournament. Again, feeling really good about where we stand. Really tough par 5 now, and absolutely pummeled this drive. This was the furthest drive I think I've ever hit in my life. It's almost 800-yard hole, and it left me 343 front edge. Never did I think I was going to be going for this green in 2, but had a good wind, pulled out hybrid, and just tried to nuke this hybrid at that front edge, and got pretty close. Just bounced up there, say just short. Wish I, would have got all the way up there, but is what it is. I would have taken that shot any day of the week. 100 feet from my eagle, wind started to pick up. It was downwind. I knew it was gonna be quick, but I didn't think it was gonna be this quick. I hit a great putt that just went past the hole. It was looking good for a while there. Left myself 9 feet for birdie. Big right to left sweeper. Really good stroke on this one. It was tracking for a while and then just stayed high at the end. Had a tap in for my par. Wish I had that one back. Would have been nice to get 3 in a row, especially in a par 5 where I got pretty close there in 2. Hole number 14, 240 yards, par 3. Deciding between hitting 4-iron and 5-iron, and decided to go with the 4-iron, and this was laced. I don't think I could hit a 4-iron better than this. Landed 15 yards past the pin, 255, into the wind out of the left. Nestled down in this rough patch, but being long of this pin is where you'd rather be. It's a good place to miss and have a good chance here, but the lie was really, really tough to get out of, and it just didn't come out the way I expected it. Super soft and right. Left myself 18 feet for par, and this was the worst putt of the day. Just timid, lacked confidence there, and I tapped in for my bogey, and had to reset. So heading to 15, knew I needed to make some more birdies. Hit a really good drive down the middle. Left myself 201 yards to the front edge, and this is one where that pin was tucked on the front with a downslope in front of it. So I wanted to go with as little club as possible to generate as much spin. Went with a 9-iron and nuked it. So I knew it generated enough spin where it would hold the green. From what I was told, it landed on the front edge, took a huge bounce forward, and then checked up on that back. Left myself 36 feet for eagle. I have a little memory with my grandma who's passed away, but she would always get really excited when I made eagles. She would call me and be like, "Oh, you made an eagle today," every single time. So whenever I have an eagle putt, I think of her. We called her Nanny, and I knew she was with me in this putt. This is when I really needed it, but that 36-footer just was looking so good the entire time. I had no chance of missing. Fell right in the center, and I looked up and gave it a little fist pump and was thinking of her. So, shout out Nanny, but that one was for you, and that felt really good to get. Head to number 16. Feeling great about my game. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under par now, with a good par 3 here, and hit a really good gap wedge that spun back to the front of the green. 12 feet for birdie up the hill. Just things are really clicking right now. We got the ball
Another
rolling,
one.
putting it great, and
go.
you know, the mojo is back. Then we get to 17. At this point, I'm 6 under par for the round, 6 under par for the round, 3 under for the tournament, in a great place. My mind just wandered into this place of let's not make mistakes. Let's just get into the house. You know, mindset that some of my followers, like you guys always ask, okay, how do I go low? How do I stop myself from, you know, just trying to cruise in or finish the round once I get a couple under par? And I fell victim to it. I was scared of right. The fescue is pretty thick over there. Just a childish mistake, a childish mindset to have, and I got protective. I tried to hit a stinger cut hybrid to play away from all the trouble. I ended up closing the face down and hooking it left. Could barely get it out and left that next shot in the rough. Now I had a jumper lie from the rough to a pin that looked baked out, and I left that short of the green, and immediately I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Now I have 70 feet from my par. Had to reset. I knew that this was a really tricky putt up and over the hill. As it was climbing, I heard somebody say, go, 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 but I knew that last part was really, really fast, and it just trickled past the hole about 3 feet, and knocked that 3-footer in. So all in all, at the end, great bogey. Try to reset. Number 18 is the hardest hole on the golf course, and we knew just a good drive would go a long way. Tried to play a nice high fade like we did the other day, and it just caught the toe and dove down into that left rough, the same thick stuff that I was in on the previous hole. Had to chip out, get myself a wedge in. Had 100 yards in for my third shot now, and now I'm sitting here like, well, you know, I got to get this up and down to make the weekend. I know 1 under looks okay, but you know, 2 under is definitely fine. And I pulled that wedge shot a little bit, left myself 12 feet, super fast downhill, right to lefter. Didn't want to get too crazy with it because I knew that 1 under had a good chance of making the weekend, and hit a great putt, but it actually was super fast, faster than I thought. Went 2 feet by, knocked in that 2-footer, and got off the green. Me and Travis, guy I was playing with this week, we checked data golf, and it said we had about a 98% chance of making the cut. So, you know, long wait ahead. You know, we knew that there was weather coming in, and we just had to wait and see what happens. Well, that was a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of in between, and now we're gonna have a long afternoon of watching the leaderboard and hoping that 1 under plays the weekend. Switch to the conventional grip, as you guys saw out there. If I try the claw again, somebody stop me. But I mean, sometimes you got to do things to remind you, you know, what you're good at, what you're trying to get away from, or whatever. I'm happy I tried it. Am I happy I putted badly with it? No. But led me to, you know, today's round. Putted nicely, made some good saves. The last 2 holes, learning experience. I just played so scared. Made that eagle, then birdie, and I put myself in a good position, and then just got so protective. When you get protective, you make bad scores, you make bad swings, and it's almost worse than just hitting the bad shot that you were protecting against, because in the end you're gonna do the same thing anyway. So a reminder to myself, you know, I've had a lot of reminders over the years, but hopefully this is the last. It won't be, but you know, hopefully it is. But again, yeah, proud of the battle. It's a tough golf course, tough conditions. It was blowing pretty hard out there, and this is pro golf. There's so many good players. Like 1 shot difference is 20 people, right? 2 shots is top 25 versus on the cut line, and it's tricky because I'm sitting with 2 holes to play, and I'm trying to go win the golf tour. If I finish birdie, I'm 5 under. I'm in like 10th place, but I go bogey, and I'm on the cut line, and it's stressful. Like I missed the one for par on my last hole in 18, and I have like a 2-footer, and that 2-footer felt like a 10-footer because I'm like, oh God, if I miss this, I missed the cut. So all in all, it looks like, where are red lights? It looks like we'll have a good chance by the weekend. I use this thing called Data Golf. It's a pretty cool website if you haven't checked it out, but if you just look at the top, it'll give you a percentage of what the cut. So there's a 58.8% chance it cuts 1 under, then a 35% chance it's even, and only a 3% it's 2. So that means I have a 96% chance of making the cut, according to Data Golf. Now, there's a ton of storms that are supposed to come in. If that happens and the course sets soaked and they finish tomorrow morning with 0 wind, that wouldn't
be great for me. But again, that's out of my control. We talked about things that are out of my control, and that's one of them. So I'm going to go home, get some rest, and act as if I'm playing tomorrow. If I'm not playing tomorrow, I'm going to practice. So my preparation doesn't really change. And yeah, that's that. We'll see you guys. All right, well, unfortunately, we woke up this morning, checked the leaderboard, and it was super calm out there, and guys made a lot of birdies and pushed me out. So it's going to be a missed cut this week. Yeah, I'm not happy. Took us a while to just film this video because I just kind of stayed in bed and used some time to just reflect and think. But yeah, just that finish was terrible and a lot to learn from it. Just played scared in those last 2 holes. Again, like I said earlier in the video, you gotta accept all outcomes, and you can't be scared to miss, and I was. And I tried to guide the ball there on 17T, hit it in a horrible spot, and made actually a good bogey, and then 18T again, tried to guide it and hit a bad shot, and yeah, and then combined with some bad luck with the storms yesterday, and then coming out today, and easy conditions, a lot of guys made a good run. Gavin, who you guys saw in that last video in the practice round, birdied, I think 4 of his last 5 holes, made the cut in the numbers, so that was a pretty sick finish. It's fun to watch some of my buddies play well, but again, on a personal level, it sucks. Chase, actually, who you guys saw in that first video, also birdied the last hole to make the cut in the numbers, so a lot of guys playing some good golf. But yeah, I'm going to talk to my mental coach now and see how we can grow from this and use it as a positive for the rest of the year. We got a lot of events left and a lot of opportunities, so it really stings. I'm honestly just pissed off right now, and that's the end of it. Yeah. Eyes forward to next week. It's going to take me a couple more minutes here or hours, I don't know, just to get over this, because I woke up with full intentions of playing golf today. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching the video. Appreciate the support. Again, this is just kind of one of the bumps in the journey. It's a tough road. Pro golf is tough. You guys see all the good weeks, and it's easy to see the guys playing well because that's what TV shows, that's what social media shows. But these weeks are hard, but it's part of it. So try to grow from it, try to learn, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.